The subconscious mind never sleeps. It works ceaselessly, fashioning and molding the patterns impressed upon it by the conscious mind. Therefore, what you speak before you sleep, you sow in the fertile soil of the soul. Now declare with the full authority of divine law, I am one with the infinite substance of the universe. Riches, wealth, and divine supply flow to me now, swiftly and without delay. As you lie down to rest, know that you are not alone. The angels of abundance are at work. The silent forces of the invisible are aligning. There is no power on earth that can withhold what is divinely mine. The walls of resistance crumble. The crooked is made straight. The path to wealth is cleared. Do not look to man or condition. Look only to God, the giver of every good and perfect gift. Man is but the channel. The supply is infinite, and it is always seeking to reach you when you no longer resist it through fear, doubt, or disbelief. Say before sleep, with the innocence of a child and the certainty of spirit, unexpected doors fly open, unexpected channels appear. Money comes to me from seen and unseen sources. I am grateful. I am ready. I am receiving now. Let not your heart be troubled by the illusion of lack. That is only appearance. Divine substance knows no shortage. There is gold dust in the air, and it settles upon me now. You do not need to strive, to beg, or to plead. You must simply align. The word is your wand, and you are the magician of your own fate. Speak it and believe it. Large, wonderful, divine sums of money are mine. Now, I am a multimillionaire by divine right. The riches of heaven flow to me and through me, blessing all whom I touch. And as you close your eyes, feel the reality of it. See yourself awakened, not only in body but in consciousness. You have moved from poverty thoughts to prosperity awareness. The race mind of limitation no longer governs you. You are governed by truth, and truth says, there is no lack in divine mind. Each night your soul returns to its source, and in that sacred returning, you plant the seeds of tomorrow's harvest. If you sow the word in faith tonight, you will reap miracles by morning. For what you affirm with conviction becomes the law of your life. And when you speak it before sleep, it seeps deep, where angels of intuition, grace, and supply may multiply it 1,000-fold. So now declare again, with joy and certainty, I sleep in peace knowing divine substance is working all things together for my highest financial good. When I wake, I rise into abundance. I rise into overflow. I rise into my multi-millionaire reality, and it is done. There is no delay in divine mind. What I speak, I now receive. I rest in faith, and I rise in wealth. Amen. The subconscious mind is man's faithful servant, ever at work, ever listening, ever recording the words he utters and the thoughts he harbors. It does not sleep, nor does it question. It accepts all that is spoken with feeling and belief as law. That is why I say, watch your words, for they are seeds, and the words you speak before you sleep, those are the richest seeds of all. They go deep into the fertile soil of the subconscious and are left to germinate in the stillness of night. I have said often, and I say it again, that man's only enemy is fear, and his only weapon, his word. For the word you speak is the word of God in action. You may not realize it, but the very sentences that fall from your lips before sleep take root in the invisible, and they do not return void. Just as a farmer does not plant thorns when he hopes for roses, you must not sow fear, doubt, or lack when you desire wealth, abundance, and prosperity. Many people wonder why they remain in poverty, though they desire riches. I tell them plainly, they affirm lack more than they affirm wealth. They speak of not enough. They say money is tight, or things never work for me. And worse still, they take these statements with them into their sleep, carrying them like burdens instead of blessings. Then their subconscious builds exactly what it was told, more of the same limitation, more of the same struggle. But when man speaks abundance, believes in his divine supply, and goes to sleep with those words impressed deeply, he is aligning himself with the source of all that is. The subconscious is the workshop of God within man. It is the unseen craftsman, the builder in the silence. And like a master builder, it requires a plan. Your words are that plan. Speak clearly, speak boldly, speak richly. Declare, I am one with the infinite riches of the universe. Wealth flows to me now, through channels seen and unseen. Say it not as a question, but as a decree, a holy command backed by the authority of spirit. And why before sleep? Because the conscious mind, that great gatekeeper of logic, rests at that hour. It no longer resists. It no longer interrupts. It no longer argues. The door to the subconscious swings wide open, and what you speak in that sacred moment slips past resistance and is received without protest. You are speaking directly to your creative power. You are speaking to the divine machinery that molds your outer world from the inner realm. I knew a woman once who was burdened with debt and despair. She tried everything, budgeting, cutting costs, asking others for help. But it availed her little, for her words were soaked in worry. Each night, she would fall asleep saying, I don't know how I'll get through this. And so her subconscious, loyal and unthinking, gave her more of what she affirmed: confusion, anxiety, delay. I told her gently, you are feeding your fear and starving your faith. Instead, I gave her a new affirmation. I am divinely provided for. Every bill is paid. Every debt is dissolved. I live in opulence, and money flows freely to me now. I instructed her to speak it aloud before sleep, with emotion, with joy, as though it were already so. Within weeks, unexpected income came. Debts were cleared. She was offered a position she hadn't even applied for. She said, Miss Shinn, it feels like a miracle. But I told her, it is no miracle, dear. It is the law. You simply stopped planting weeds and began sowing roses. The subconscious mind is no respecter of persons. It responds not to who you are, but to what you believe and boldly declare. If you whisper fear, it will multiply fear. If you speak wealth, it will shape wealth. Even a few minutes of right words before sleep can undo years of wrong thinking, for divine law is not limited by time, only by belief. So I say to you now, before you lie down to rest, cast aside the heavy garments of worry and put on the robe of royalty. Speak as one who knows their inheritance. Declare with full authority, I am a multimillionaire in consciousness. I sleep knowing that divine supply is working through my life. Wealth surrounds me. Wealth seeks me. Wealth reaches me. Then rest. Do not wrestle in mind. Let the law do its perfect work. When you wake, resist the urge to doubt. Walk in the vibration you declared. Act as though your harvest has already come, because it has begun the moment your word was spoken in faith. And when you do this, day after day, you will find that your outer world begins to match your inner one. The people, the ideas, the opportunities, they will be drawn to you as surely as iron to a magnet. You have given your subconscious its orders, and it obeys with precision. And thus we move forward, because once man understands this sacred power, he must also understand the truth that there is no delay in divine mind. What you declare is yours now, and the only thing standing in the way is the illusion of time and doubt. For divine supply is ready. It has always been ready, and it moves the instant you truly believe. There is no delay in divine mind. This is the great truth I have spoken again and again. For it is often man's belief in delay that holds back the very good he is seeking. The supply is ready. The answer is already formed in the invisible. But it cannot come through while man entertains pictures of postponement, struggle, or disbelief. God's work is finished. You are not waiting on God. God is waiting on you. When you declare before sleep, I am a multimillionaire, and you speak it with the conviction that it is already true in the realm of spirit, then you have already moved the great wheel of divine machinery into motion. The forces of the invisible begin to arrange themselves in perfect order. But if you doubt the very moment you wake, if you say, well, nothing has changed, you have dug up the seed you planted the night before. It is man's impatience that interrupts the flow. It is his belief in time that causes delay. But divine substance is timeless. There is no slow or fast in spirit, only the immediacy of truth. What is already yours by divine right does not need to be earned, struggled for, or chased. It needs only to be accepted. And acceptance is not begging or pleading. Acceptance is calm, unwavering knowing. Man must stop looking to man as his source. That is where he stumbles. He sees lack in his bank account and says, I am poor, but the bank account is but a shadow. The real wealth is in the realm of ideas, the realm of substance, and it is unlimited. You are not rich because of what you hold in your hand. You are rich because of what you know in your heart, and what you know, you speak, and what you speak with belief. You receive. People often say to me, but Miss Shin, I've said my affirmation, and nothing has happened. And I say to them, oh, but it has happened. You have simply not seen it yet. The train has already left the station. If you do not stop it with your fear, it will soon arrive. You must act as though you already have received. That is the law. When you say, unexpected income flows to me now, do not follow it with worry. Do not sit in anxiety, asking where will it come from. The how's not your concern. That is the domain of divine intelligence. The universe has countless channels, and it will use whichever one is most harmonious and right for you. The trouble with most people is that they pick the channel themselves and cling to it. They say, it must come through this job or through this person. And if that channel fails them, they fall into despair. But that is leaning on man and not on God. God is the source. The people and situations are merely instruments, and if one door closes, another opens. Quickly, effortlessly. If only you stay in the vibration of faith. You must say, God is my instant, constant, and abundant supply. I do not look to man. I do not look to the world. I look only to spirit, and spirit never fails. And you must say this not only in word, but in thought, in feeling, and in the very way you carry yourself. Walk as though the money is already in your pocket. Sleep as though your mansion is already built. Speak as though your wealth is already visible. You are dealing with a law, and the law cannot fail. It is exact, precise, and unchanging. Just as the law of mathematics cannot make 2 and 2 equal 5, the law of prosperity cannot bring you poverty when you are consistently affirming wealth. It is not about working harder. It is about aligning. Aligning with divine timing, divine flow, and divine truth. You do not need to manipulate or force. That which is yours cannot be lost, and that which is not yours cannot be held. When you relax into this understanding, your whole vibration shifts. You move from grasping to allowing, from pushing to receiving. Say aloud, there is no delay in the mind of God. My wealth, my supply, my millions, they are mine now. They reach me in perfect ways, under grace and in perfect timing. Say it not once, but many times, until your heart believes it, until your spirit rejoices in it, until your body rests in it. For when belief and word are one, the demonstration must come, and it comes often through the least expected path. That is why I call them unexpected channels. The subconscious knows no obstacle. It does not ask permission from the world. It simply arranges the circumstances, people and events to match your dominant vibration. So do not concern yourself with how. Stay faithful to your declaration, and let the law handle the rest. You may wake one morning to a phone call, a message, an idea, and that single thread leads to your fortune. Or someone may mention your name in a room you have never entered. Divine intelligence knows where your good is and knows how to bring it to you. But it cannot deliver what you doubt. It cannot give what you speak against. So hold the vibration. Protect it like a sacred flame. This is why I say your wealth is as near as your next thought. Your millions are as close as your next belief. When you declare, I am ready to receive now, you must believe that now means now, not next year, not someday, now, in the eternal present of spirit. You are not moving toward your good. Your good is moving toward you. The moment you stop resisting it with fear, the moment you speak boldly, clearly, and without apology, the heavens part, the channels open, and your wealth begins its perfect descent into your experience. And so we move forward. For now that you understand there is no delay, you must also understand that the word you speak, especially before sleep, is law. It is the divine blueprint from which your world is built. The subconscious awaits your command, and the command must be rich, bold, and clear. Let us speak it into being. And now that you know there is no delay in divine mind, you must understand the power that initiates all demonstration, the word. For the spoken word is man's greatest weapon and his most sacred gift. The word spoken in faith becomes the mold into which substance flows. It is the seed, the spark, the holy decree that sets all things in motion. Especially before sleep, the word is magnified, for it falls not on deaf ears but into the open chamber of the subconscious, which then moves swiftly to do its perfect work. I have seen time and again how a simple word rightly spoken can turn the tide of one's affairs. I recall a student who had lived long under the weight of financial lack. She had studied books, recited affirmations by rote, and still her affairs showed no change. One evening she said to me in despair, "Miss Shinn, I've said it 100 times, but it hasn't worked." I replied, "Child, it is not the quantity, but the quality of your word. Speak it with fire. Speak it with authority. Speak it as though it is already true, and it shall be." You see, the subconscious does not respond to empty repetition. It is not moved by cold words or half-hearted phrases. It is impressed by conviction, by the vibration of belief. When you say, "I am a multimillionaire," but your heart trembles with doubt, you send a mixed signal, and confusion cannot produce demonstration. But when you speak boldly, with the tone of knowing, the subconscious receives its instruction and proceeds to build according to the pattern given. Before sleep, the conscious mind loosens its grip. It relaxes, becomes quiet, and the subconscious stands ready, like fertile soil awaiting the seed. This is the sacred moment. This is the hour when the veil is thinnest, when the gate is widest, when your word may go in unchallenged and begin its perfect creation. So do not squander this moment with idle chatter or worry. Use it. Command it. Declare the good that is already yours in spirit. Say, "I am wealth. I am richly supplied. I am divinely funded now." Speak it not as a wish, but as a truth. Feel it in your very bones. See yourself as the person who already lives in that vibration. You must become it in consciousness before you become it in form. You cannot speak poverty and receive prosperity. You cannot think lack and manifest wealth. The law is exact. The word must match the thing you seek. I have always said your word is your wand, and with it you either build heaven or bind yourself to struggle. Most people are unconscious magicians, casting spells of failure upon themselves without knowing. They say, I can't afford this, or money doesn't come easy, and then they wonder why they remain trapped. But those who awaken to truth learn to use their word with precision and care. They declare only what they desire to see, and when you speak it before sleep, you give your subconscious the richest command. The word enters that holy chamber and begins to construct the equivalent in the invisible realm. You may not see the results with your physical eyes right away, but know that the blueprint has been drawn. The law has received its instruction, and it does not fail. It builds without doubt, without fatigue, without resistance. Your only task is to hold to the picture you have painted with your word. Do not underestimate this divine faculty. The ancients knew the power of the word. The scriptures say, in the beginning was the word. That is not mere poetry, it is the great metaphysical law. Everything begins with the spoken word. If you would create new conditions, you must speak them into being. You must say what you wish to see, and say it often, with joy, with power, with certainty. There is no magic in the words themselves. The power is in the belief behind them. A single sentence spoken in complete faith can dissolve years of resistance. A moment of pure declaration can open doors you thought were locked forever. This is why I say, speak your wealth before sleep, for the night amplifies what the day has scattered. The silence of sleep allows your word to sink deep, undisturbed by reason or doubt. Say aloud, divine riches are mine now. I live in luxury, I give generously, I receive continuously. My subconscious knows only wealth, and it builds wealth for me even as I sleep. Let that be the last sound upon your lips. Let your room be filled with the vibration of truth, and when you wake, do not cancel your work with fear. Walk through your day as one who has already received. Act rich, think rich, speak rich, for the word continues to echo long after it has been spoken. And as you begin to live in this vibration, you will find that your outer world starts to shift, not by effort, not by striving, but by the silent, orderly movement of divine law. You will attract new ideas, new people, new opportunities. They will come without force, because you no longer resist them. Your word has gone forth, and the law responds. Remember always what you speak before sleep, you build while you rest. What you declare in faith, you receive in form. The subconscious mind is the great builder, and your word is the command. So speak not of lack, delay, or limitation. Speak only what you desire to manifest. Let your word match the life you are ready to live. And so we move ahead, for now that you know your word is law, especially before sleep, you must recognize that wealth is not something you earn through strain. It is your divine inheritance, and your task is not to fight for it, but to accept it. You are not chasing riches, you are awakening to what has always been yours. You are not striving to become wealthy. You are remembering the truth that you already are. Wealth is not a thing you must earn or deserve. It is your divine inheritance, and the moment you accept it as such, the gates of abundance swing wide open. The race mind, the collective human thought cloud, is thick with beliefs in struggle, sacrifice, and lack, but you must come out from among them. You must no longer listen to the false voices that say, "You are not enough," or "It's too late for you." or wealth is for others, not for you. These are lies built upon illusion. Truth says, all that the Father hath is yours. The great law is impersonally just. It does not play favorites, nor does it reward toil for its own sake. It responds to consciousness. You do not receive what you wish for. You receive what you know is yours. When you say before sleep, I am a multimillionaire now, by divine right, you are not trying to make something happen. You are stating what is eternally true in the kingdom of spirit. You are aligning your vibration with the reality that has already been prepared for you. Poverty is not virtue. It is a hypnotism. It is man forgetting who he is and what he is entitled to. It is a belief, nothing more, and all belief can be changed. The moment you cease to feed the lie of lack, the moment you stop declaring yourself as poor, limited, or behind, the entire universe begins to adjust to the new image you have accepted. You are rich now, not tomorrow, not 10 years from now, now, in this sacred moment. The moment you dare to believe it, the moment you claim it, everything begins to shift. This is not arrogance, this is spiritual obedience. It is false humility to say, I am not worthy of wealth. God made no unworthy beings. You were not born to scrape by, to beg, or to just survive. You were born to radiate the light of divine abundance, to bless the world with your overflow, to live in joy and freedom and ease. Wealth is not about things, it is about vibration. It is the consciousness of sufficiency, of generosity, of spiritual poise. It is the unshakable knowing that God is the source of your supply, and that supply is limitless, immediate, and always present. The moment you stop looking to jobs, people, or circumstances as your source, you are free. The channel may change, but the source remains. Do not confuse your divine inheritance with your current experience. You may be sleeping in a small room today, but that does not mean you are not royal. You may have little in your hand, but the vaults of heaven are open to you, and the key is your consciousness. Speak before you sleep. I am the child of a rich Father. I do not live in fear. I do not live in lack. The wealth of the world belongs to me, and I claim it now with joy and gratitude. And speak it not as one who begs, but as one who knows. You must embody the truth. You must walk like it, talk like it, think like it, not in pride, but in faith. Not to prove anything to the world, but to align with what has already been given to you. Faith is not hoping, it is knowing. Knowing that God withholds nothing. Knowing that the desire for wealth did not come from your ego, but from spirit itself, seeking expression through you. The truth is, your wealth is not outside of you, it is within. It is an inner state that magnetizes the outer world. When you say, I am wealth, you are not pretending, you are remembering. You are calling back your divine identity, which you may have laid aside under the weight of false teaching. But now, in this hour, you awaken, and you awaken not to poverty, but to inheritance, not to lack, but to overflow. Speak to your soul before sleep. Say, I am done with struggle. I no longer accept the lie of lack. I am connected to the infinite source of riches, and I now allow it to flow to me, freely and in divine timing. You will find that as you fall asleep with this knowing, you rise in a different vibration. You wake with fresh inspiration, with new ideas, with courage and expectancy. And as you hold that frequency throughout your day, the world responds. For it must, it is law. The law of prosperity is exact. It reflects to you what you have accepted for yourself. So do not say, I cannot afford or I don't know how. Replace these phrases with truth. Say, God is my source. My supply is endless. Everything I need is already provided. Let these words become the atmosphere of your life. Let them be your final prayer at night and your first declaration in the morning. You are not hoping to become a multimillionaire. You are revealing the truth that you already are. You are peeling away the false layers of doubt and fear, and standing tall in the light of divine opulence. You are claiming your spiritual birthright, not to boast, not to hoard, but to bless and to overflow. Your wealth is not just for you, it is for the world, for your family, for the causes your heart burns for. And when you know this, when you truly understand that wealth is service, wealth is joy, wealth is the expression of Spirit's abundance through you, then you can no longer block it. You open your arms, your heart, your life, and you say, yes, I receive, yes, I allow, yes, I am ready now. And so it is. And now, beloved soul, you know the truth. You are not walking in darkness. You are walking in divine remembrance. The riches you seek are not outside of you, scattered in some far-off land. They are within you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. The word has been spoken, the soil has received the seed, and the law is at work. Go now in the vibration of certainty. Speak your wealth, think your wealth, feel your wealth, live your wealth, not with striving, not with force, but with a quiet power, a sacred knowing that what is yours can never pass you by. Each night, before you surrender to sleep, return to your throne, reclaim your crown, declare your inheritance boldly. Say, I am a multimillionaire now, by divine right. My wealth is established in the invisible, and is made manifest with ease, under grace, in perfect ways. Then rest in faith, not in fear. Trust the law, trust the timing, trust the process. You are not becoming, you are unveiling. You are not begging, you are receiving. You are not waiting, you are allowing. And with every word, every thought, every breath, soaked in belief, you call forth the life that has always been yours. The doors are already open, the supply is already flowing, and the universe rushes to meet the one who knows they are worthy. It is done, it is done, it is done.